What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Kyrie,
And it's your boy Heavy.
and welcome to another good episode of What's the
What's
Point?
the point?
That was a
Close.
little closer.
Close.
That was a little closer.
Close.
Um, so today on our wonderful episode, we're going to be discussing the movie The Deliverance. It is very hot right now. All of us have watched it. I have thoughts. I have wanted to hear their thoughts, but they have made me wait until today.
It only makes sense.
Whatever. Pre-show discussions are always welcome, but
No, they're not. We want
I
your
feel it.
candid opinion on the show.
It will still be candid.
No, it wouldn't, because we would know how you felt already.
Then you just
And
be
you
a thespian and
probably
act like you don't.
you probably wouldn't go on one of your crazy rants if we talked about it prior to.
Uh,
And people expect that from you these days.
I don't know.
I
I
think
mean,
they
because
do.
here's the thing. I I don't know if I have a rant. Well, I may, because there were certain things
I
about the
have.
show that. Do y'all hear that?
That's the 1 o'clock Saturday thing that happens. It's okay.
I,
Keep
that
going.
is weird as hell. I know it
You
just
just
disrupted my whole field of concentration. It's like a bad air siren. I feel like I want to get under my table or some shit. The fuck,
ADHD is a real thing.
baby. I'm trying to tell you, and I wrestle with that thing every day. I need deliverance from that shit. Let's say that. Okay. Um,
Reel it back in. Reel it back
I
in.
know, but it sounds like dolphins singing badly. I want to walk towards water. I'm just like trying to get my life
It
together.
sounds like an alarm. It does not sound like a dolphin.
You hear what you hear. I hear what I hear. Anyway, so like we were saying, we are going to be talking about deliverance in this episode. I thought it was very interesting because it is a horror movie, but it's coming from a different place. I felt like it was a kind of a cute watch. I do have some opinions about it because of the religious aspects of it. Spoilers for those that have not seen it yet. But as always, I like to get other people's perspectives first. So I'm going to toss it to my co-host, and I want your perspective on what you thought before I say what I thought.
So I did watch the movie. First, I do want to give kudos to Audrey Day. Excellent
Baby,
performance. I
she
thought she
did.
was really great in this movie.
Yeah,
So
I will
even
say
the
that.
kudos off top. Like she killed it. I thought it was very much in the mindset of The Conjuring, the black version of The Conjuring, which
Hmm.
is one of my like favorite like scary religious movies. Like scared the poop out of me, but excellent movie. But coming back to Deliverance. So I I did enjoy the movie. Um Come through Glenn Close for playing this
Honey,
ratchet
Alberta, honey.
white woman who clearly grew up in the black hood.
Right.
He,
She could
I,
play some damn roles. I
I
will
Glenn
definitely say that.
Close,
Glenn Close.
Meryl Streep, all those white women, they
Yes,
give me everything when I see them in a movie. So,
I love
um,
it.
he was had me cracking up in the movie.
Hmm.
I thought the chemistry between her and Audrey Day was excellent as a mom and a daughter who clearly love each other, but there's a hate there too for the way you
Hmm.
raised, and now you are this Bible toting woman. However, the hood is still there. So I will still call I will say praise God, but still call my daughter a bitch. It was very funny to me. But overall, I enjoyed the movie. I will say the one thing that bothered me, and this could be just me, but spoiler alert, the little boy who got possessed
Hmm.
was so not believable as a demon. Like he wasn't giving. he wasn't like it was
I am
making me
so
laugh
glad I'm not the only
when
person that got that.
he was possessed by the demon. It was actually more funny than scary. Like it wasn't like when on The Exorcist when the girl is possessed by the demon. You're terrified of this little girl. Like, bitch, I don't want to
And
ever be in a room with you. But with this
right,
little demon, like I couldn't take him seriously when he was possessed by the demon. It was like he still looks too cute. He's not giving me like
they didn't go
he
full on with the makeup towards the end.
I
That was
don't
They
one
think
of
it
the
was the
tried.
things.
make. I
They
don't. I
tried.
don't think it was the makeup. I think it was his acting was still too innocent,
Yeah.
and I think you have to find the kid that can give you terror and innocence. And I feel like this wasn't him. I feel like he gave innocence well, but the terror when he was the demon, it was still kind of just like, oh, he's so cute. It wasn't like I'm afraid of this little boy and I want to get away from him. And
I,
so that was the one thing in the movie that threw me off was the little boy.
I
For
feel
me,
you.
I go ahead, Shazam, real
Now, I was
quick.
going to say that his name is Anthony B. Jenkins, and he is only 12. So,
I know, but
uh,
there are little
But
kids like
there are.
Linda
I was
Blair
gonna
gave you
say,
terrifying in The Exorcist, and she was
and
only a
also
kid.
in the eyes. For me, it was like he was
Yeah, it
not
was
really
his
believable
eyes.
in the
His
eyes. You know
like
what
you
I'm
have
saying?
to. It's a certain eyeball thing you have to do when you give in terror. Like you have to.
Instead of giving terror, it gave more like lost.
Yeah, and
You know
it's
what I
so
mean?
for me, it wasn't giving me like scary. It was just giving me like, oh, he's trying.
Right. And then like certain scenes with him, I did not understand. Like going downstairs and chugging an entire carton of milk. Like that was so weird to me.
yeah, I
It
don't know
You know
wasn't
where
what
they
what
I'm
it
got that
was.
saying?
idea from.
No, no. What it was is if you paid attention, he was lactose intolerant. So this demon was
Yeah.
making him do things that were going to hurt him. So he
Ah,
Ah.
got chugging this milk that was clearly going to fuck him up the next day because
Yeah, okay.
milk him. So the demon said, "Go
Oh,
downstairs
and
and
the
drink
next
this
day he
milk."
threw his shit in class.
Right. Well, no, that
Now,
wasn't the
now that
next.
makes there was the next day because he started
Was
complaining
are you?
about him. I think that was the very next day because then he
I
started
think
complaining
that was
about his
a couple
stomach
days.
hurting.
Oh, I don't want to argue with you when you wrong, boo. But here we go. It
We could
seems
do that
to
all
be an
day. I don't
ongoing.
care.
It seems
I
to be
do
an
not
ongoing
care.
thing when we review things. But
I don't.
no,
I don't care.
that was some days later that he pooped. No, he drank that milk. But remember, in the very beginning, he was asking for milk, and the mom was like, "You are
Right.
lactose intolerant." Then that
Right.
night, he went downstairs and chugged the milk. But the demon was making them do things that would hurt them.
Right. And I thought
He
that
went
I thought those
downstairs
things
and
happened in
chugged
the
all
next
the
day
milk.
because
No, it wasn't the next day, boo.
I have to
It's
watch that
okay
again.
though. Probably.
But also, I feel like more happened to the boys than the girl. Like I feel like she got pushed into the background a little bit because not much, not like she had a smart mouth and she was a daddy's girl and all that. But like as far as like things that were happening to the kids, nothing really much happened to her other than the I guess her getting her period during chorus class. And then at the very end, when she was hanging up bleeding with the whole stigmata thing, I did not see. I felt like they could have done more with her. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just having the two boys go through the most. Because by the end of it, the older boy was damn near ripping his skin off. He was biting holes into his arms. Like,
Yeah, that's
you know
valid.
what I'm saying?
And I
Like, I
think
just
if you think about the when the pastor or rabbi, whoever she was,
she
whatever
was an
Ajin,
evangelist. I'm gonna get to that too because her
Yeah.
character got on my
but
nerves.
but whatever she played, if you think about when she tells the story about the previous family that lived there,
Oh,
it was attacking the boy.
I got
It wasn't
the
attacking the little girl. The demon was so maybe that play into coming into the new family. The demon was attacking the little boys versus the girl.
uh
So
I
maybe he just enjoyed boys. I don't know, but
Ooh, girl.
if you put that correlation together. Remember, the demon possessed the boy in the previous family, not the
Yeah.
girl. And then the mama killed people, but it originally possessed their son. And that's
Wait,
who talking to the little boy was the
wait,
son, or the demon kept saying his name was Dre.
wait.
Go ahead.
I got one thing to say about the evangelist or whatever. If you was there at the beginning of this or whatever, when another family come along, should you have told them sooner?
No, remember she
That
said
was
I
one of
had
the
to
points.
make sure that you were being affected. When she came and actually talked to her, she said, I wanted to be sure that this was actually happening. She said, I had a feeling, but I had to be sure before I approached you because you was going to be like, who is this crazy lady? Even though she still said, who is this crazy lady? She kind of said that to her like she was watching them to see if the feeling that she was having was actually happening.
But my thing is this: her character was kind of pointless to me. Like,
I agree.
if you're going to sit here and you were there at the beginning when this
Well,
shit
no.
happened, and you lost the boy because you weren't strong enough then, like you weren't strong enough now. So what the fuck was the
Well,
point?
here's the thing.
What did all your praying and everything?
Her character wasn't pointless because somebody had to tell them what was happening. That was the point of her character to come in and tell her y'all being possessed by a demon.
She was a
They
plot
needed a
device,
way,
and then she died.
yeah, they needed a way for the characters to realize what was happening to them, and that was really to
Like,
me the point of her character was to come and tell the backstory.
because my thing is, if you were so powerful in the end, it should have been both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? On your knees, speaking in tongues, praising. Or you should, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're the wise. You're supposed to be the wise master, the wise sage,
But she
and he
wasn't
whipped
though.
Well,
your ass
She
all
lost
over this house.
no, she
she
had a
lost the
point.
first one. She lost the first one. Her point was, oh, go ahead, Cole. I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry. Her point was she came in to give Ebony faith. Ebony was the Andre Day's character. She gave in to
Right,
give
right, right.
Ebony faith. If you remember right, she did the sinner's prayer with Ebony in the beginning, which is a prayer in order to relieve yourself of your sins and actually embrace
Mm-hmm.
God and let that spirit
Oh,
fill you.
and,
And so
and
that was her basic point, was basically to give Ebony the faith in order to continue on further. And then
yeah,
once she was done, then she was out. That was it. She was
yeah,
out.
And
because
she had to give the backstory. Somebody had to give the backstory
Yeah, she had
yeah,
to give the exposition.
I get it. I
because
get it.
Ebony would have
It's just
never
like,
known happening if she didn't come in and say this happened to somebody else, and I see it happening to you. Somebody
but I
had
just
to
feel like
give.
her character didn't have to die in order for that to be accomplished, though. Like I feel like it would have
She died
been more redeeming.
I, no, I feel
She
like
died
she
for
died
what?
so that
for the budget.
I feel like I feel like she died because Ebony had to stand on her own in her own faith, and
Right.
so the lady needed to die to say, "I'm afraid." You got to stand up and believe in your faith and save your kids. I
I
thought I was
still
strong
think
enough.
that could have.
I'm still the scared lady that I was the first time.
I just wish that she had, for all of the oomph and the prayer and the power that they presume she had. I felt like it would have been a more well-rounded story for her to at least survive that. You know what I'm
Who
saying? Like,
presumed that she had that though? Was that just your presumption? Because they never said she had all the power in the movie. She just said,
no,
"Let I'll try to get rid of the demon. Let's do
but
this."
but that's my thing. If you are this evangelist, that means that you are coming to the situation with a certain level of spiritual power and authority. You know what I'm saying? That
It
was the
don't
whole
mean
thing
you
she was
still
trying to
won't be
teach her.
scared, but it don't mean
True,
you won't be scared.
And
true, and it did
And she
show.
said,
It did.
I was scared. Don't be scared because I'm about to die. Because
and
I'm still scared of this thing.
if you remember right, in the previous haunting, she did not win. So she didn't
Yeah,
have the power even then to even confront the demon. So
that's what I
she
Right.
was saying. So,
But
like, she
my
lost
whole
the
thing is
first time.
after all this time, she should have gained more spiritual power. She should,
No, that's
knowing
not
what
Why
you
do
true.
you
know
assume
now.
that though? That's an
Because
assumption
when
you're making.
because my thing is when you go into a situation like that, you have learned something. You have learned how to be more prepared for the next time you encounter that situation.
She,
That's
And the
but
only thing
here's
is,
the
absolutely.
thing about real life. Like you can be mentally prepared and then when the situation hits, you F it all up. That's a part of real life. Like if you taking a test that you have studied for, you're like, yes, I know this, and then you get to the test and you go blank. That's a part of real life. Like sometimes that just happens. And so if you think about that, yes, she felt like I am prepared. Then she got there and said, I'm scared. I
And
just
not to
effed up
mention these
because I'm
things.
still scared. I thought I was coming into this standing strong, but this lady done told me, which we have never addressed, she can smell my nappy pussy hairs. and now and now I'm scared of this demon.
like,
Like
honey, of all the lines for Glenn
but
Close to say in that movie, yeah, baby, I
right.
get what you're saying, but I'm just gonna step right there for one
But I
second, because
think
honey,
that was the big part.
whew,
Like you come in thinking, I am ready. I'm gonna face this demon. And then you face the demon. You're like, bitch, oh, I'm scared. I can't do it. I thought I was gonna be able to do it, but I just realized I peed on myself and I'm afraid. You know what I mean? And I feel
that's why she
like that's
smelled
the
that nappy pussy, because she pissed herself. That's what it was.
That's
yes, like
violence.
she thought she was coming into this being this strong person and she's gonna defeat this demon. Then I think, and probably part of it too is the parallel of how terrified she might have been the first time she tried to face it and she effed up.
Yeah.
And so PSD reaches you and you like, oop, I'm still scared. Oh no, she
And then
about to kill
I will
me.
say, if I was standing there and watch a little black boy turn into a grown white woman, I might shit my pants too. Because that's gonna tell you something, baby.
And
Glenn Close came out that motherfucker with them hair and them jaws. I say, yeah. But okay, so this is something else that I noticed. I felt like is that, and also kind of made it a problem when it came with the kid, is that the kid wasn't doing most of the heavy lifting when it came to the scarier stuff. The adults were. Like, for example, shifting from the child to the adult character allowed him to say more cuss words and more things that I feel like maybe Lee Daniels felt like a 12-year-old should not say, because he wasn't the boy was not menacing to me. He just wasn't. But Glenn Close being possessed, oh, I believe that bitch. I believe nappy
Right.
pussy and all. You know what I'm saying? Like, when she broke out them chains and climbed like she did, like, I get it. I get that because he was 12, you didn't probably didn't want to have. And plus, he's a little black boy. You probably didn't want him with all his profanity and things like that because of what people may say. But I feel like that took something away from how scary this little boy was supposed to appeal to be. Because, like you said, in The Exorcist, honey, Linda Blair was a teenager, I believe, and honey, she was saying all types of wild ass shit. You know what I'm saying? Back bending, clogging up the walls, vomiting pea soup, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like they gave it to you.
different
You know
animal.
what I mean? Like I feel like had they pushed the envelope with the boy, you know what I'm saying? Like they did do with him shitting in class and throwing it on the teacher. Yes, that was an envelope push, honey. Because good God, I had to pause for a second and be like, okay, all right, but still needed more. Still needed more. You know what I'm saying? Like
And
that's
I
to
feel
me,
like it's all in the actor. Cause there are lots of movies where little kids make you feel like they're crazy and they're psycho. Like if you look at like the little girl who played Megan in that robot movie, she was terrifying.
Or the
Or
girl
if
from
you
very
look at
Portland.
like if you look at Macaulay Culkin in The Good Son,
love that
that little
movie
boy was
very much.
terrifying
Yes.
in that movie. So I feel like it's all on the child actor you get and can they convey that evil moment. And so it's
Hmm.
like not that I don't think the little boy isn't a good actor, but I think he didn't convey the
He
evil
Right.
did.
part
He
well.
didn't. Didn't convey that moment. That's all.
Yeah.
The
And
older
so
boy conveyed more than he did. I would have been more. It would have been more believable to me if the older boy was the one being taken over because of his shift in attitude. Like when he was choking him, when he stood up in school, and the way he did. You know, like his acting was more believable of possession than the little boy to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm
Like
actually
So that's all I'm saying
surprised.
is like it's all in the little kid that you decide to do this movie. Like the
yeah,
little girl in the orphan. Well, maybe she was a grown woman. Never mind. I think she was a
she
grown woman. She
she
played
was
Yeah,
a
the
little.
grown.
character was supposed to be
Yeah,
grown.
Yeah, she played. But so never mind that one. But it's a lot of movies with little creepy, terrifying kids, and so I think maybe the little boy just didn't pull off creepy and terrifying as well as he could have.
Yeah,
hmm
but I was going to say is I'm actually surprised that Caleb did not play the role of Dre himself, being that he's the more experienced actor and has name credits, considering that he was a main character in Stranger Things. I'm surprised they didn't have him play out that role instead of this, for the most part, unknown
I
actor
think they
play
probably
that
thought
same
that it
role.
would be more terrifying to have the a little boy be possessed than the teenager, but then the little boy didn't quite pull it off. But I think it
right.
is more creepier when you have like the
I would love to see
small
the girl.
child be the terrifying one. But I will say when he was drowning a little boy, the look in his eyes was very creepy.
Yeah.
Like you could
Exactly.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you could tell he conveyed that he wasn't there, that somebody
That's what I'm
else
saying.
is.
That blank stare in his eyes, he was just like you. Exactly.
Yeah,
Now I would have loved to see, like I said, the little girl. I would have loved to see what spin they would have took with her, because if they had done kind of that same Exorcist kind of spin with a little black girl, I would have loved to see what she did. That would have been cool. But I think they probably would have compared her to Blair too much, so I guess that's why they didn't do that. I like that this cast was led by all females. I think every actress was amazing. I think, it was good to see Monique working with Lee Daniels and Lee Daniels Project. You know what I'm saying? Their interviews show that I guess they mended fences and whatnot. And to see her in her classic Monique with her one liners and quick whips and things like that, that shit was funny. She brought the humor with a little air of seriousness to it that you want. You know what I'm saying? When she said "fuck you" and your cockeyed mama, like that shit was it was funny as fuck. You know what I mean?
she
Like
was like, "Oh, you
she
coming
get
down here with a bad bitch?"
right. You know what I'm saying? She's like, really, bitch, I'm bad. This is what we're doing. All right, fine. Like I love that she was that you call it the everyman, that person that's on the outside looking in at you that you relate to into the story. I believe she was that character, and I really enjoyed her in that character. I thought she was really funny. Part where she said this one baby, the baby got him thinking the whole playground and beat him up, and the other two don't know what's going on. Like she, I
Can I say the
enjoyed
one thing that disappointed me the most? When she was
what
in the hospital room with the little boy and he crawled up on the ceiling, I so wanted him to attack her.
I'm so over that
I
scene.
thought he was going to.
I'm so
I know
over that
I did
scene.
too. So I was so disappointed when the scene cut off and he didn't attack her. I was like, he should have bit her or something. I was
But
like, that would have made me
because of
like attack her.
this was based on a true story, they went only as far as what the little boy in the story did. So he
But
was reported to have climbed up a wall like
I
that.
know.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
did
I
y'all
checked
did y'all
into
check
that
out the
too.
story behind the
I
movie?
It's not,
I actually
but
did
it's
check it out.
based on a true story. So they took a lot of things and went other ways because if you
Yes,
read the story, the girl was the oldest and then there was two little boys. And
yes,
so they had already switched it there. So it was just based on the true story. So some of the things that happened in this movie did not were not recounted in the real woman that went through this. They had to
yeah.
amp up to make it a move to make it
So,
watchable.
so what I was gonna
So
say, in that scene actually did happen in the real life. But how it happened in the explanation of it, it was that the grandmother was actually holding the boy's hand.
Yeah, and he
So,
walked back up the.
and he walked up the wall with what they're trying to say was possibly with her help. So yeah, that scene did
Oh,
happen, but they made it more supernatural spin instead of like. I kind of wish they
right.
had taken the approach of like the exorcism of Emily Rose, where they gave us the juxtaposition of what people might have seen in the real world if they believed
Right.
it was a hoax or make believe
mhm,
versus what it would
mhm.
seem like on the supernatural end, whereas we saw all the flair and dramatics and shit. So I wish they had taken an approach where we kind of got the idea that this could be possibly false or real, depending upon your belief system.
Mm. I mean, I get that, but the one thing is when we're going into belief systems, this played very, very, very heavy on Black Christian beliefs. You know what I mean? Um, up and including into speaking in tongues, which is something that I'm saying. I don't know if you guys believe in the power of speaking in tongues. I do. I was raised in Pentecostal church, so what I'm saying. I understand it was taught all of that. So to see it on screen, portrayed in a manner in which it's accurately should be portrayed, I appreciate the respect given to it. That it was not done in a cliche manner. It wasn't done as a joke. It wasn't done um, for shock value. Like there was a reason why she was doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like she was like, "Oh, this is going to work. I should just do this now." No, what they portrayed was that the spirit came upon her and gave her utterance to do what she did. Which, if you grow up in church, you understand that is what is taught to you. No one just starts speaking in tongues. You know what I'm saying? Unless you will give utterance by the spirit. You know what I'm saying? For those that know, you know. And to see that be portrayed that way, I give respect to that. I give nod to that. Now, I'm not going to go as far as to taking it to the point of where some people are saying this is a lesson that there are demons everywhere and all this stuff. You take it for what it is. You take it for the symbolism, the reference of what it is, and the reverence in which it gives it. Do I believe there are demons everywhere? No. I believe that we fight with negative energy. That is my belief. You know what I'm saying? But as someone that has spoken in tongues in prayer in church of my own accord, knowing the meaning of it, learning about it, and understanding the power and significance at which that holds, especially in our community, that I will hold in a particular place of respect for how well that was done, in my opinion. Um, the whole aspect of the fight aspect of our belief. That I like how that was portrayed because for us, when it comes to our Christianity or just Black spiritualism, we understand the power of prayer. We understand the power of words. We understand the power that we hold when we choose to use it. Good or bad, because it can. I don't care what anybody says. You can pray bad on somebody. I've done it. I've seen it happen. I'm going into my spiritual bag. I'm not going to try to go too deep. But all I'm saying is, for a lot of people who have opinions and criticisms about this portion of the film, I believe it was done very respectfully. And I believe it was done to acknowledge that there is a power in it. There's a power in our belief in that, and I don't think it should be taken lightly or negated or felt like it's made fun of. So I just wanted to touch into that because I thought that was a really powerful thing at the end. And going back to what you guys were saying, as far as like, the evangelist may not have been strong enough, but Audrey Day's character Ebony found her strength. And when she found her strength in the Spirit of the Lord came upon her and gave her what she needed to send them demons packing. And that's what you're supposed to take from it. And I think like people have gone somewhat too far in it or read too deep in what they want to understand from it. So, so I
No,
admit I'm too far into the spiritual bag, but
no, I didn't get that into it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Well,
I was really critiquing it as a movie itself.
my my big thing is with most of like possession movies and things like you like those type of movies, whether it's black or white people, like even it like I'm gonna always refer to The Conjuring because that's literally one of my favorite like possession movies. But I feel like it's a moment. I feel like deep, like those demonic spirits are usually able to grab hold of people who don't have a lot of faith. When you
hmm
watch, a lot of times these stories that are based on something that people have claimed occurred, whether we
hmm
believe it to be true or not. If it's true for them, it's true for them. But I feel like a lot of it is based on it's a household that doesn't really have any faith. Like I don't believe in good or bad. I just don't have no faith. Like I don't believe in these things. And at the end of the day, these stories are about having faith that having faith in a higher power that you need to believe in order to defeat these demonic spirits. In order to defeat this demonic spirit, I need to believe that there is a good a good spirit in this world that it will allow me to defeat the demonic one. And so if you watch most of those movies, it's always a priest or somebody coming in who has to get that family to believe in their faith in a higher
Mhm.
power in order to
Mhm.
save your kid or your mama or whoever the demon done possessed. You need to find your faith, and that is what's going to heal you. And I completely am a faith based person, so I believe that these things are possible. Like it's possible for these things to happen. Never
Mhm.
experienced it in real life, but who's to say that someone else's experience is not real and truthful? Because if you haven't experienced, you don't know what could happen. But I just feel like that's a big part of when you watch these possession movies is faith,
Mhm.
and you have to have it. And if you don't, it's gonna take over you, and it's gonna win. So, and that always seems to happen when you like Amityville Horror, all these things, and you see the previous
Mhm.
family lost the battle, and then
Yeah.
this family that's in that we're focused on is the family that wins the battle because this is the family that lives to tell about it because they had to step into their faith. But
So I
previous
want to ask you
families
this question,
don't.
and I don't mean to cut you off, but when you brought up Amityville Horror, it made me think of other horror movies, um, like Annabelle. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to ask this question.
Based out of The Conjuring, I just want to say.
Annabelle's a good movie. Now,
Guess which one?
how do you feel?
I don't.
Well, I
Yeah,
was talking about
I
the
agree.
first one. I was talking about
I
the
mean,
first
she's
one.
a.
I haven't seen any other ones.
Well,
How do you
Annabelle is
feel
a
about?
Conjuring.
Yes. How do you feel about like possessed, pos- movies with possessed totems, like dolls and things like that? Do you believe that? And I believe this. Do you believe that you can bring negative entities and things into your household through simple means like a doll or something like that? I'm 100% believer of that. I
Yes.
want to know.
You can impart energy on most things. There's echoes of energy because energy doesn't die.
Right.
Um, Different events, different locations that have experienced a lot of trauma. There's a lot of energy that gets congealed in that area, good or bad. Um, and they can travel, and things become totems. So, me personally, I do believe in that kind of stuff. So, yes, I do believe that is definitely possible.
Himster.
I don't know. Um,
Was that my buddy you got in your bedroom? Are you sure?
First of
Because I am
all,
positive one.
he's filled
That's
with
I'm,
probably
nothing
why
I'm
but
y'all
good
are
positive,
buddies.
energy. I don't have no demon trauma.
honey.
So my body is filled with nothing but positive energy. So if I pass him
I
on,
would
it would
love to
be a
talk to your
blessing
my
to the
buddy
next
doll if you could talk.
person.
'Cause I swear to God, there's
It would
trauma in
be a
that
We
blessing.
motherfucker.
talk tonight.
There's no trauma in him because I don't have no trauma, sweetie. You're nice try. He would be a blessing to the next person I pass him on to. However,
Honey,
I'm
the
not
way that hair is
saying that.
bobbling, the way that hair look, honey.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that
Let me ask
movie
the
now.
question: Have you ever woken? You ever woke up in the middle of the night and looked, and that motherfucker just looking like this, like just like he just just blank eyes and crazy ass hair?
Just
I
slowly
would be
turns to
scared
you.
shitless. I would be scared.
Your Listen, what I'm going to tell you, co-host, is to tread lightly when you talk about my buddy because you're taking me somewhere that you don't want to take me. Don't talk about my buddy. That's what that's what you don't want to do. Leave him out of this.
That buddy needs deliverance.
He
I'm
has
trying to
done
tell.
nothing to you. Leave him out of this. That's what I'm
No, you
going
know
to
what he
tell you
did?
right now.
He traumatized me when you put him on screen. When you shook his head like that. That's what
Me
like he
too.
traumatized the fuck out of me, bitch. I was waiting for that head to fall off.
I think that's your own childhood trauma, bitch. So don't come for my buddy. Don't do it.
Oh
Don't
no.
do it.
I had my own. I gutted mine. I told you what I did. Shit, I took a pair of
Because you're
scissors
a
and treated that.
horrible child. No, you didn't have a
Fuck.
my buddy, remember? You had a
Yeah.
Cosby kid or something.
Yes. And he became a my
So
opera. He became a my
you
operation
know the
doll after
trauma
that.
of a fake my buddy. You don't know what it is to have a real buddy. So step down and step back as I sip my tea.
Wow, we bougie today.
Off of a my.
Just say,
First of all, fuck your my buddy doll. Okay.
You
well, fuck you.
Okay. Okay.
my
You
buddy
don't
be
want the
getting
smoke,
my buddy be
Tyree.
getting the
You don't
nightly.
want the smoke.
Ah,
I
the
told you
fact
to
that
leave my buddy out of
I don't
there. I
know what's
told you to leave
funnier.
him out.
Like, I don't know what's funnier right now. The huge amount of defense that he is putting up for this doll, or the simple fact that we know how raggedy this motherfucker looks, so you don't have to, a much of a
So
defense
you
for
gonna
this bitch.
continue. So you gonna continue your tirade. Is this what we're doing? Is
Yeah,
this what we're doing?
I
Grown
need
man in
deliverance.
this doggy
Someone's
outfit. Is
triggered.
this what we're
Someone's
doing?
triggered.
Don't come for my snuggie. It's cold.
Is
Don't
this what
come
we're
for my
doing?
snuggie.
Oh, don't be
Don't
coming
come
for
for my
Nikki's now,
buddy.
bitch.
That's all I'm telling you. Step
It's
back and
cold.
step down.
Ah.
Step back and step down. Let's get back into this movie and off of my buddy. That's what we're gonna do. Okay?
I'm so glad I went there because this is so funny.
I am glad you are tickled to your soul.
Jesus. I swear to God, hear me. You're going to wake up one night, that motherfucker going to be moving in your sleep. It's going to be on your desk. You turn the light,
He's
it's
not
going to be
gonna attack
at the
me.
edge of your bed. And then you
He's
turn the
not
light
gonna
again, it's going
attack
to be.
me. If anything, you're gonna wake up and he'll be sitting over you, bitch.
That's funny.
So you watch out.
I'm sorry. I just can't help it because he's going so serious. I love you, but this is funny. This is really funny.
If you ask anybody who knows me in real life,
Ooh, Jesus.
buddy, they
Leave
know
Hippie's Chucky doll alone.
Baby.
that's what you're not gonna do, bitch. Don't compare him
It's
to
not
Chucky.
Chucky. It's not Chucky. It's Charles.
My buddy existed before Chucky.
That's why his name is Charles. He's not Chucky.
I'm sorry, Charles.
His name is not Charles or his name's actually Peter. Thanks.
That is not better. That is not better. Peter. Peter.
His name
Now
is
we know he's gonna kill you in your sleep. The
Wow.
fuck?
And what's Peter
no,
for?
he's not.
Dick.
No. He's like Megan. He protects me. He's gonna kill you,
Peter
bitch.
Griffin?
Not me.
Whatever.
I can't. Let's move on back to
Thank
our.
you. Thank you.
That dog
Let's
needs
move
deliverance.
away. Let's move away from this. Let's move away from this.
Let's
Three of you.
get back on our. Let's get back on our topic.
Let's get back on track.
No, let's fight.
Let's get
Okay. Oh, I'm trying so hard to just to make this is funny. I'm sorry. Okay, so coming back. Shut up, both of you. Coming back to our original, because hear me stop, because I'm trying. stop, stop looking at me like that. I am trying right now. Stop looking at me like that, because I'm trying. I'm
You
trying.
started this shit. I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna finish it.
If you keep looking at me like you want to punch me, I'm gonna keep laughing.
Oh, so you do get it. So you get my look.
I can see it on your face.
So as a trained thespian, I am conveying the right look to you.
That sounds like Kimmy. Stop it. Okay, as we were saying, um, yes, I am a firm believer of transfers of energies, things like that. Um, that was just a silly question I wanted to throw out there. Now I'm trying to come back with it, go back around, but oh, that was funny. Um, let me ask you
Hee
this:
hee hee.
that's not making it any. It's gonna be 20 minutes of me laughing. Um, excuse me. So here's my thing. I think overall it was an amazing movie for what it was. I liked the lead actresses. I think Audrey Day gave an amazing performance. Glenn Close,
Audra.
Audra,
Since
thank
you
you. I'm
did the
sorry.
title, okay, get her name right.
Man, I was saying her name 4 or 5 times before we started recording, and I still fucked it up. Um, Glenn Close's character to me gave me the funny in the movie that I wanted to have. You know what I'm saying? We all know a white woman like her. Now I know her. Not all of her scenes were funny, but it was something like you know someone like her. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was cute. You know, little Omar Epps, his cameo with her. I thought that was cute. Little shade moment in the when she was getting dialysis when the women were talking about her. Well, look at that, seeing their titties out and all that. I mean, girl, shit, if she died, I'd have my titties out too. The fuck? I let them go to waste. The fuck. But I just think that some people read too much into the movie. I think the movie overall was good for what it was meant to do, and that was give you just a good time. I wish it would add some jump scares. As much as I hate jump scares, I tend to like them in horror movies because at least it makes it a little more fun for me. Um, Me, a lot of people saying that I know, but that's probably one of the major things I was expecting that I didn't get were any jump scares. Hmm. What is your opinion, my friend? If you can stop looking like you want to like you want to fight me right now, what is your opinion,
Oh no,
my
I'm
friend?
over that. I'm over that. You're a peon. So my opinion,
You have to just slide something in there, don't you?
my opinion probably I give this movie like a 7.5 out of 10.
I
Like
can agree with that.
it wasn't top tier for me. Again, the little boy, there was no terror from me for the little boy. Like I wanted to be terrified of the little boy, and I just it never got there. But again, amazing performance from Audra Day and Glenn Close. Um, I appreciated the movie for what it was. I do want to say, because I just want to point this out, that that demon fucked Audra Day up in the end.
Yeah, he did though. I acknowledge it.
He was
I
whooping her ass at the end of that basement.
When he
And
turned
then
into her, yeah.
when they cut to her after when all the bruises showed up, because you couldn't see him as he was beating her, because bruises don't show up right away. But when they showed that baby face after, I was like, he fucked her up. Eye closed and everything. But I'm sorry, I wanted to bring that up because that was just like, because I was
But how do you
literally,
explain
she's
that though?
still functioning. She is still, I mean, he was bashing her head to the cement ground, and she still got up and said, I'm going to defeat you. So I appreciated that. But overall, it was enjoyable to watch. Like, I don't think, like, I always think people are going to get up in arms, especially when you're super religious or super atheist or whatever the case is. You're always going to, when you're far left or right to something, there's always going to be a
Mm-hmm.
backlash to comments. But when you take the movie for what it was, overall, it was entertaining. Um,
Would you watch it again?
Probably not. I mean, if somebody else hadn't seen it and they wanted me to watch it because they had never seen it, I would watch it again. But it's not something that I would pull up, and I know I keep saying this, but I've watched The Conjuring several times because I really enjoy that movie.
Yes, it's a
Like
really good movie.
I live for when the demon lays over the mama and spit that shit in her mouth. I don't know why I love that
Well, that's
movie.
one of
If
your
you've
kinks.
ever seen
Ah!
That's one of your kinks coming to
you're
light.
next,
Okay,
you're
it's one of
next on
mine.
my
So
list. I'm gonna
anyway,
spit some shit in your mouth. However,
No,
no,
you do not have consent.
no,
You do not have consent. No, no, you're
that's
not.
the
No.
point of a demon. I don't need your consent.
Ugh.
I don't need your consent.
I will sleep with a cross on my mouth. Just painted. Just
The mama didn't give the demon consent to spit in her mouth. She woke up and the demon was over her and spit in her mouth. She- there was no consent.
just nasty.
But
That is
no,
horrible.
overall, I enjoyed Deliverance. Yeah, that's my take on it.
Shazam Carnage. What did you guys think of it overall?
near you.
Um, I liked it. I had
Shazam mute.
My bad.
Okay.
can y'all hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
All right. I had my quarrels about it. Like, that was that was my one thing. What I said. If she was there in the beginning, like, why you should have got at me sooner or whatever. You should have waited until my kid was damn near, damn near possessed. You know what I'm
Your kid
saying?
was the devil.
Oh no, by
Yeah,
that time he was full on at that point. Shit.
yeah. So, but I get a episode. I get a movie. 6.5. I watch it again to now that I am a if I'm a 2-time movie watcher, so
Okay.
I gotta watch it first or whatever, and I gotta talk about it, and I gotta see okay what we talked about, and you know what I'm saying. Um, I gotta see what we talked about in the movie or whatever, but.
Mhm. Mhm.
Uh,
Sometimes when you watch it a second time, you see things that you didn't pay attention to the
yeah,
first time.
I
yeah.
get that. I get that. I mean, I would give it a second watch if I was with other people to talk about things that I didn't see the first time or didn't pick up the first time. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But like when I watch it by myself, probably not. You know what I mean? Um,
Shazam.
So, all right, all
Here
right.
comes the pessimist. He gonna say, "I give it 2
right? He was wait. He wanted to lay that casket down.
Why? Why? I'm a
Bury the movie
nice.
Shazam.
I'm a
Bury the bitch.
nice person.
Why?"
He was
I'm
sitting.
waiting for it. Like, go ahead.
Okay.
All right.
We
So
got all of 15 minutes. You about to burn this motherfucker down.
I'm I'm going to be gentle this time. Um, no, but what Hemi's been saying has been kind of what I've been resting on. Like what we saw in this movie is not something we have not seen. It's become very cliche as far as exorcism movies go. Uh,
Hmm.
what this is, what we got here is pretty much The Exorcist mixed with Amityville Horror. It's
Mm.
it's pretty much a fucking what do you call that? A mishmash of that. Um, it wasn't bad. It was actually a decent watch, but aside from it being from a black, I guess I'm not going to say Pentecostal, but
It
angelic.
is. It is. It is very Pentecostal leaning. Yes.
Yeah, that's what it's given to me. It's kind of Pentecostal, but from a black religious angle, which is something we haven't
Hmm.
seen. I kind
Hmm.
of wish there was more dressing in that to make it more unique.
Hmm.
But that was my issue. Like The Conjuring. That was a perfect example of Emmy gave. Conjuring was an amazing movie. It's something we've seen
Yes.
before, but it was just done so well that you didn't really think about the fact that it's so cliche at this point.
Hmm.
They did some things that we hadn't seen before.
It
They
felt
gave
new.
us right, yeah, it felt fresh. They gave us some visuals we had never seen. They approached it in a way that we had not encountered before. Whereas this movie was kind of like colored by numbers. It was just pretty much giving us the same stuff we've seen in the past.
I
It's
agree.
just put melanin into it. That's all there was. And
Mm.
so
Yeah, I agree with that.
that was my only issue with it. It was done decent enough where it's a good watch. I'm glad I didn't have to pay theater prices for it. Um, it kept me entertained, and and this is the issue I really have. If you really look at this cast, you have ECOT winners,
Yeah.
Oscar winners, and the performances should have been elevated far past what we got from this movie. I mean, again, it was a decent watch, but it should have been like The Conjuring on crack.
Yeah, what was the little boy? What was he on?
I don't know about the youngest boy, but the oldest boy was from Stranger Things.
Yes, right. Yeah, yeah.
So
Hmm.
again, like
But
why wasn't he in the role of Dre?
that's why I feel like Audra Day was the standout because you haven't seen her in that many things. So what she brought to the table really stood out. Like when you see Glenn Close or Ajane
Monique and
or and Monique and those people that we've seen in lots of things, it's like, yes, they brought something to the table, but is this their top tier performance? Probably not. But that's why for
right.
me, Audra Day stood out because I've only seen her in a couple other things because she's newer to acting. But I thought
Oh, she's not new. No, she's not new.
I know
I've been
I'm
around.
not no, that's why I said she's not new to acting, but she's newer as far as
Newer.
the people she was standing next to, as far as
Yes.
Glenn Close and Anjanae. I can never remember her name, and I apologize to her. But standing next to them, I feel like the experience was less. But I feel like I feel like she stood ground with them, is what I'm trying to say.
Right. Being able to hold your own in the scene with Glenn Close, that does say a lot. You know what I'm saying? And
Audra's
you have
not
to be the
known.
more.
She's not known for
Hmm?
movies. She's not known for movie roles, but she's been doing theater and stuff for a decade, for over.
Right.
So
But
she's
that's what I'm
not
saying.
new.
But that's
Right, but
why
I'm just
I get
talking
what him
about
he's
as far as
saying. Yeah, like for
as
this role, she really brought it. Like to be the main character, the main protagonist in this situation, she did a very good job. I agree with that. You know what I mean? Like she was going crazy. Her character was
and
being
I'm not
driven
yeah,
crazy.
I'm not saying she's not experienced, but I'm saying to the level of experience that like a Glenn Close or
Yeah.
Aja
This is
Blue,
true.
I can't
Yeah, this
I
the
felt like
it just
she stood her ground right next to them. I don't
yeah,
feel like
yeah,
I
with the
felt like
exception
I
of
could say
I feel you, with the exception of Andra, considering the levels in which we've seen the others perform, this was just very just remedial. Um,
I would not say remedial. I wouldn't say remedial at
for
all.
the class that they've given
Um,
us in the past, I felt this was remedial for them.
what I would say is not remedial, but these are characters that feel very familiar that you know will be easy for them to step into. You know what I'm saying? Not for Glenn Close though. I've never seen Glenn Close play a woman, a white woman with
Right.
with
She was
blackness.
she was the main standout for me because I've never seen her do
yeah.
anything close to this
You
role.
know, right? So I don't think that her character was phoned in. I think in order to be that type of woman, you have to do some research. You got to get in there. Even with the scene when they was doing when she was doing her daughter's hair, sewing in the tracks and stuff. Like you
Oh,
know what I
that was
mean? Like
I'm like, is this white woman so attracted to this girl?
she had to do some research. Like
That
she
was
had to get
funny.
like it was a cute moment. that like, okay, she really got into doing these things. Glenn Close is an amazing, amazing actress. She really is. So I don't feel like her performance was phoned in or remedial. Um, I feel like
I don't.
Monique's character. You say you do or don't,
I don't. I don't
right?
feel like Glenn Close's character was phony. I feel like Monique's was. I feel like I've seen her do this.
Yeah, like the character
Yeah,
Monique did was one that you've seen Monique do, 100 times over, done well, yes, but you've
I feel like
seen
that was
Monique.
more about us seeing her and Lee Daniels heal their relationship.
I agree with that as
yeah,
well.
yes, I
I
agree.
agree with that as well because she didn't have a big role, but she had a significant role. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But again, it was to her strengths. It was to her strengths and what she can do. Like I said, all these women are amazing in their own personal rights. I'm not diminishing none of their shine, but I will give Cole props to what he said, or give light to what he was saying as far as some performances seeming phoned in. I can see where you would get that. Um, but the two lead actresses, what I'm saying? I don't believe that for their characters. I don't believe those were phoned in. I believe that those were very well executed, very well done, very well believable.
Yeah, I think the story just could have just been elevated more, especially if you're not trying to do a documentary per se on what the actual movie was trying to reference. I think they could have just gone way more and done way more with it. I mean, I
I
get
agree.
maybe there was budget constraints, possibly,
It, it
but
could have been
it could have
way
been way
scarier
more. That.
because
Yes,
you're
it
just
could have.
basing it on the story. It's not a
Right.
documentary, so you could have took liberty to
Right.
do all
You could
type
have
of
taken way
scary
more
shit.
liberty.
Took it somewhere else because that again bring up the Conjuring. A lot of the stuff that they talked about, the family did say they experienced, but I feel like they took it to another
Yeah,
level and made us
exactly.
gave us more, way more than that family probably experienced, but it made more of a
Hmm.
movie that kind of terrified you in that way.
It would have been more terrifying to play up the more legion side of the demons, because in the original story they claimed that they said there were over 200 in that house,
Yeah, allegedly.
and they made that basement so significant in the movie, and we get why it was where the big scene happened at the end. We understand that. However, if they had played up the legion part of it, that would have made it more scarier
Yeah, like
instead of it being just
Poltergeist
one
plays.
boy.
Poltergeist had numerous demons all over that house. So
And the little
yeah,
boy even said in one line, "He's in here with us," which
yeah,
hinted at there being more than one. And I feel like had they worked with that, I think it would have made it more scarier. They would have had more to deal with. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have been just a little boy being possessed. It would have been the house itself. You know what I'm saying? And I think that would have made it more scarier. Because Poltergeist was that movie. That's a scary movie.
God's in this holy
this
temple.
house is all right. On that note, we are gonna wrap this session up. I want y'all to know that every Wednesday, y'all can hear our audio podcast on Spotify or anywhere. Podcast, where can they see us, Kyrie?
You can check us out every Friday morning at 11 a.m. on YouTube at What's the Point Pod. You can also check us out on our website, what'sthepointpod.com. We have episodes listed there you can either listen to and or watch. You can shoot us emails at what'sthepointpod@gmail.com. Like, share, subscribe, follow, all the things. Do all the things so that you can know whenever we're posting episodes. And we just want to thank you all once again. It was great. What am I forgetting? Because I always forget this last one thing that you don't. So what am I forgetting, Harry?
You actually hit all the points. But I do want to say on what'sthepointpod.com on our website, you can find links to podcasts, videos, everything. You can find it all in that place.
Yes. So thank you guys so much for checking out another episode of What's the Point. We hope you enjoyed this episode. And hear me, always, please tell our folks what they can do.
You can stay classy.
All right, y'all. We
All
out of
right.
here.